Do I dare ask you to call your next witness?
I have no further witnesses, Your Honor.
Hello everyone and welcome back to In the Dragon Den. Before we get started, I want to make sure that everyone hits that subscribe button and most importantly, tell a friend about me. Let's continue our topic on the Federal Reserve.
And the truth shall set you free!
To conceal the real purpose of the Federal Reserve Act and confuse the American people, Nelson Aldrich and Frank Vanderlip from the Jekyll Island Club protested the Federal Reserve Act. The American people rejected Nelson Aldrich and everything he stood for. When Aldrich and Vanderlip vocally denounced the Federal Reserve Act, the majority of Americans blindly supported it, not knowing it was identical to the Aldrich Plan. Aldrich protested the issuing of currency by the government that was not backed up by gold. Aldrich knew that the government had no involvement in issuing currency under the Federal Reserve Act. Vanderbilt made absurd accusations, causing other congressmen to publicly accuse him of misrepresenting the bill. Carter Glass, chairman of the House and Banking Currency Committee, who was against the Aldrich Plan, promised with the Federal Reserve Act there would be no sinister transactions.
All right. I know how to change the way the public thinks of me. I'll buy every media outlet in town. Bring me a checkbook.
He even claimed that a bureaucratic council would watch over the Federal Reserve to ensure all transactions were in the public's best interest. Senator Root opposed the Federal Reserve and warned that currency circulation would always expand indefinitely, causing inflation. As time went on, he also discovered that the Federal Reserve would also cause deflation. Deflation happens when the Federal Reserve won't issue any currency. This occurred in 1929 all the way through 1939. Alfred Crozier, a lawyer from Cleveland, Ohio, testified in front of the Senate warning senators to reject the Federal Reserve. He pointed out the Federal Reserve would give bankers a private control of currency when it should be controlled by the public. He warned if the government has to rely on private banks to issue currency, the United States would no longer be a free country.
Freedom is the only way. Terrorists, your game is through. 'Cause now you have to answer to America.
Issuing money according to the Constitution was to be done by Congress, not private banks. Paul Warburg testified before the House Banking and Currency Committee in 1913. He told the committee to use the Aldrich Plan as an example when creating the Federal Reserve. The act had to include these fundamental rules: centralizing of reserves, mobilizing commercial credit, and getting an elastic note issue. These rules would guarantee the creation of inextinguishable debt through loaning artificial money and collecting interest. During a debate in the Senate, Senator Stone reminded everyone that bankers have refused to loan money to men with different political views. Local bankers who won't contribute to the reserve would be blacklisted. He also pointed out the Federal Reserve Act was no different than the Aldrich Plan. Most politicians were receiving large amounts of money from Mr. Warburg. If those politicians did not, quote-unquote, see it his way, come election time, they would usually get defeated. I want to thank everyone for watching. Hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and the notification bell. Leave a comment, and most importantly, tell your friend about me. If you would like to donate and help me out, my PayPal link is down below. Thanks, guys.